Hi, I'm King Diao, lecturer from Electrical Engineering Department, Polytechnic Tuanku Syed Sirajuddin. In this video, I would like to share about final year project, challenge and excitation. Final year project is one of the most important aspects of engineering education program. Engineering is the first and foremost the application of knowledge. However, the application must be carried out with judgment to ensure that the resultant system is effective and efficient, and that is of benefit. The final year project is one of the primary mechanisms used by education provider to provide the student with an opportunity to gain experience in the practice, effective, efficient, and beneficial application of what you have been studying for the past several semesters. Naturally, students will continue to gain engineering experience after they graduate, but the final year project will be their first exposure to the full rigor of engineering practice. It is essential that they learn from this exposure and practical all of engineering methodologies involved. It is particularly important that they learn not just to apply what they know, but to apply with judgment, with the ability to assess what they are doing and to be critical of it. There is another reason why their final year project is so important, is we inevitably to use as a discriminator to decide how good an engineering student they are. Previously, we had established the importance and challenge of the final year project. Now, let's look at the important issues in pursuing it. There are 7 principles to concern. First, choosing a project. Second, project planning. Third, system design. Fourth, module implementation and system integration. Fifth, testing and troubleshooting. Sixth, documentation, and last one, cost. Choosing a project. Given that they are going to spend a lot of time working on their project, it is essential that students pick a project which they like and which they are capable of doing. Note that they are not necessarily the same thing. Just because they like a particular project does not mean they are qualified to do that. They must think before making their final choice. At the very least, students should take the following step in assessing and choosing appropriate topic. First, find out what are the options. Make a short list of 3 projects. Must think about proposing their own project. Discuss with the project supervisor. Writing the project proposal. Submit a ranked project selection form to the project coordinator by the end of week 2. Project selection will be reviewed by the project coordinator panel. A list of the accepted project will be published in the week 3. Next, project planning. Most of students have no idea how to begin their project. This is understandable. It is the first time they will have to tackle a large amount of project that is probably poorly defined. To get started, it is helpful to know the key activities that result in a successful project. Then, system design. Students in this phase are in position to design their system using whatever design methodologies is appropriate for the area. Module implementation and system integration. Finally, we are at the point where we can build the hardware and write the software. Students are required to produce hardware project based on the electromagnetic compatibility of European Commission Regulation, EMC. Students should know the construction step hardware project, where they can explain and overcome effect of electromagnetic and high or low frequency in the project construction, like shear wire application, effective grounding, and avoid crossing wire or hanging wire. They also can elaborate and demonstrate project circuit testing. Then, they must be able to show circuit testing on protoboard to make sure its circuit stage is functioning properly. To show hole drilling technique on the PCB, assemble component on the PCB, as well as to show the quality and the good soldering technique. In other hand, students shall test the circuit on PCB to make sure the project is functioning properly, as will being able to conduct tests that form to the EMC pre-compliant testing, troubleshooting and repairing project. What is the PCB designing software? There are so many PCB designing software available, such as Express PCB, Eagle PCB, and Proteus. Apart from the other software, Proteus is different. Proteus is a design suite and PCB layout designing software. In Proteus, we can design any circuit, simulate the circuit, and make the PCB layout for that circuit. Proteus Professional is a software with combination of ISIS schematic capture program and Aries PCB layout program. This is a powerful and integrated development environment. Tools in this suite are very easy to use, and these tools are very useful in education and professional PCB designing. Casing designing and construction are the final part of the hardware making. Another important part to complete a project is that the students should know software project step. Students should develop the command for controller to operate the project by starting to write main program and sub-program according to the algorithm. Next, they should debug sub-program and main program. Lastly, students should conduct test run for the system by providing the input and obtain the output. It is much better to build each component or modular subsystem individually and then to link or connect them together. Again, one component at a time. Now, we look at testing and troubleshooting. Most engineering students misunderstand the meaning of testing. They think it means demonstrating that something works, real project for example, but it's not. Testing means much more than this. Certainly, students need to show that their project works, for example, that it meets the requirement and operate according to specification. But a good testing strategy also includes attempt to break the system, to show not only how it works, but also how it fails. Project documentation. The best way to organize their writing is keep a logbook of all work in progress. Every thought and observation they have regarding their project should go into this book, along with note of meeting with your supervisor, result, theoretical development, calculation, everything. At the end of each phase of the project or at the end of each task, students should write up a formal report pertaining to their current progress. This report will become an excellent basis for your final report. Besides, there is another form of documentation which students will have to create as well during their project, which is the project presentation. Lastly, cost. In addition to those discussed previously, capital or costing factor need to be considered in selecting and completing the project. With the creation of students' final year project, the excitement in teaching and learning for lecturers are on how to develop student skill in science and technology, and also by giving exposure to the student about importance of skill and experience in the field of science, innovation and design. Meanwhile, lecturers also have opportunity to supervise and train students to participate in various design competition, robotic and innovation. Part of competition that students can be participate are innovation project presentation and exhibition IPropex, and innovation competition and exhibition ICompex, whereby this and national exhibition. The Radio Television Malaysia RTM are interested with our student project that compete in innovation project presentation and exhibition IPropex. Recently, RTM had interviewed students about their project for the Malaysian BIS slot in RTM1, which can also be viewed through YouTube. As you can watch, here this is one of our students with his excitation and experience in project development.
Hey, hi! I'm Navin Naidu, son of Sivabalan, studying for Electronic Engineering Communication in Polytechnic Tuanku, Sets Rajudin. If you see me, I'm standing in exhibition of iPropec. As a final semester student, I have done my project, which is hardware body system. First, what are the challenges I have done? First, troubleshooting the circuits is the main problem I have faced. Second, the programming. Programming is the second part of hardware, which is we have to implement the software into the hardware. Third, the pump. The pump didn't even pump the water to flow into the plants. Fourth, the roof. The roof have a very frictional force which can't even able to move up and down. I have faced a lot of excitement. First of all, my teammates have helped me a lot in my hardware and software. Even he and me only in this group. Second, the roof and the water pump has worked 100% due to troubleshooting. This is a very excitement thing which I have get in this project. Third, 100% working of our project will give us a lot of happiness. That is the worst and happiness thing which I have get.
So, by this final year project, we as a lecturer hope that students will able to practice all skill and knowledge that are learned through the journey of project development at a workplace in the future. We hope so.